Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate you being here. So this one is going to be a little bit different. All right, so I've been going through the Bible, reading it cover to cover. I did that 4 times, and then I started over a 5th lap. So I think it was a couple weeks ago, I was reading in Exodus chapter 30. Just so you know, Exodus, if you're not familiar, the back half is arguably not that exciting. So front half, super cool. Life of Moses, free the people out of Egypt, super neat stuff. Back half, it's getting into laws and how things are done. Lots of building of the tabernacle. So a lot of people think it's not that great, but I did find an interesting nugget, and I'm about to share it with you. So I was reading how the high priest becomes anointed, which would be like Aaron, Moses, individuals like that. And the process they have to undergo is they have to make a sacrifice, and of that sacrifice they have to put a drop of blood on their earlobe, on their right earlobe, their right thumb, and their right big toe. And I always thought that was super odd, like weirdly specific, and I never really pieced it together until just now. Well, not just now, but like a couple weeks ago when I read it. So essentially, long story short, actually no, I'm gonna do the long version first, and then do a little tidy up at the end. So essentially, what makes a person's identity known is essentially what they go and do. So if somebody asks like, hey, what do you do? Be like, barber or a dentist, a doctor, construction worker, receptionist, something like that. So what you do is wrapped up in a lot of your identity. And Jesus says, I need you to go and be my hands and my feet, essentially go and do my work. So the feet represent where you go, and your hands represent what you do. So if you take everything that you go and do as the hands and feet, then the next step would be, well, when it comes to your thumbs, well, you got, 10 fingers, one of them is the thumb on your right hand. So right hand thumb is typically the most important, most useful. And of your feet, you got 10 toes, and of your toes, your big toes are probably the most important because that's where you get most of your thrust and power and balance when you're, walking around and doing stuff. And your right foot is traditionally the most important, therefore your right toe, your right big toe is the most important. Therefore, in super duper layman speak, actually it's not super duper layman speak, because Jesus calls us to be his high priest. So to become a high priest under Jesus, not the actual Jewish order, that's totally different. This is not how that works, just so you know, if you're not familiar. But according to Jesus, the way to be anointed as a high priest is to dedicate your hearing to the Lord, and wherever you go, whatever you do, make sure that the most important 10% is donated to the Lord. So basically, tithe and listen to God. That's how you become anointed as a high priest. So anyways, an interesting little nugget that I found the other day, and I thought I would share with you. So that's all I've got for now. So really appreciate you tuning in. As always, stay classy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.